The Nazis attacked her. They thought her to be weak and miserable, but knowing she has already designed their deaths in her mind. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. Your review about this movie Blood and Gold and my editing will mean a lot to me. Alright, so the movie kicks off with a bang, literally. We see this tough-as-nails Nazi soldier, Heinrich, running for his life. But get this, he's not running from enemies. His own fellow Nazis are after him. Apparently, he's ditched the war, and now they're calling him a traitor. Leading the manhunt is this stone-cold officer, von Starnfeld, who's got no chill and is hell-bent on catching Heinrich. Eventually, Heinrich's outnumbered and cornered. He's dragged back and made to face a makeshift trial. Von Starnfeld lays it all out, accusing him of bailing on the war while Germany was crumbling. But Heinrich isn't having it. He says war's a nightmare, and he wasn't going to keep killing people just because some leader told him to. He even calls out Germany as a nation of killers. Naturally, that doesn't go over well, and von Starnfeld decides it's the news for him. His creepy sidekick Dorfler ties the rope and leaves Heinrich hanging to die. But just as Heinrich's on the verge of passing out, visions of his wife and kid flashing in his mind, boom, someone saves him. Enter Elsa, a brave local farmer. She cuts him down and brings him back to her place where her brother Paul, who has Down syndrome, helps patch him up. While Heinrich is healing, we learn that von Starnfeld and his crew have marched into a nearby town looking for something hidden. Turns out, they're after gold that once belonged to the Lowenstein family. Von Starnfeld goes to see the town's mayor, Robert, who lies and says the family was kicked out long ago and the house is basically rubble. But von Starnfeld's not buying it. He orders his men to start digging up the remains of the house anyway. Back at Elsa's place, Heinrich is getting some rest and bonding with her and Paul. Curious, he asks why Elsa even bothered helping him. Without skipping a beat, she says she hates the Nazis. They murdered her father. That same night, von Starnfeld and his men roll into the mayor's inn and take it over. He even bans the townsfolk from entering because, apparently, he's now using it as his command center. At dawn, von Starnfeld forces the townspeople to dig through the ruins looking for that gold. Dorfler warns him that Allied forces are getting closer and the men are exhausted, but von Starnfeld doesn't care. All that matters to him is the treasure. Meanwhile, Heinrich feels strong enough to leave. He thanks Elsa and tries to head out. He's got to find his daughter. He shares that his wife died in a bombing, and he's not even sure his little girl would recognize him now. Elsa, hearing all that, lets him go. But just as Heinrich's about to leave, Nazi soldiers barge in, Dorfler and his men. They're raiding the place looking for animals. When they start grabbing Elsa's chickens, she's had enough. She storms out with a shotgun and stands her ground. Dorfler, impressed and maybe a little creepy, invites himself in. Elsa claims it's just her and her brother living there, but Dorfler's suspicious. He steals a necklace from her, and when she tries to get it back, things get ugly fast. From the attic, Heinrich sees Dorfler trying to assault Elsa. He can't take it anymore and jumps in, going full beast mode on the soldiers. He wipes them all out, except Dorfler, who gets away. Knowing they'll come back for revenge, Heinrich, Elsa, and Paul grab some weapons and hit the road. While hiding out in the woods, Paul insists on going back for his cow. Elsa tries to convince him they'll all be killed if they return, but he won't listen. Sadly, he sneaks back and gets caught by Dorfler, who's now nursing his wounds and burning for payback. Dorfler tortures Paul for information, then shoots his cow and burns down their home with the bodies of the fallen soldiers inside. From a distance, Elsa watches helplessly as her brother is dragged away. Von Starnfeld, still gold-hungry, grows impatient and calls Robert in again. He demands to know where the treasure is. Robert plays dumb, but von Starnfeld decides to make an example out of Paul. He plans to hang him in front of the entire town to scare them into talking. Heinrich and Elsa arrive in town right as this horror show is about to unfold. A priest tries to intervene, but von Starnfeld doesn't budge. He tells Dorfler to beat the priest instead. Elsa wants to rush in and help Paul, but Heinrich stops her. They end up seeking help from a local woman named Armgard. Paul, meanwhile, is being dragged to the top of a church bell tower to be hanged. But he snaps. He fights back, pushing one soldier off the edge and shooting the other. Just then, Heinrich and Elsa sneak into the church. Paul starts firing at the Nazis, creating chaos. But it doesn't last. Von Starnfeld shoots him in the head, killing him instantly. Elsa is crushed. Her brother's dead, lying in a pool of blood. But there's no time to mourn. Von Starnfeld is still out there and more dangerous than ever. Outside, he threatens the townspeople, ready to kill every one of them unless someone gives up the gold's location. And then, out of nowhere, Elsa charges in, guns blazing at Von Starnfeld. She fires shot after shot, but somehow none of them hit him. And weirdly enough, instead of fighting back, Von Starnfeld seems mesmerized by her. So, while Von Starnfeld was off being all lovey-dovey and weirdly obsessed with Elsa, Dorfler and the rest of the Nazi crew went after Heinrich again. Lucky for Heinrich, he had a couple of grenades stashed and used them to take out a few of the soldiers. That kicked off a crazy shootout on the roof of the church. But Heinrich soon ran out of bullets and had to come up with something fast. He tricked the soldiers into following him into a tight corner, lobbed another grenade at them, and made a risky jump to escape. But the danger wasn't over. When he landed, more Nazis were waiting for him. With no choice, he fought through them, only to end up face-to-face with Dorfler. The two got into a brutal brawl. Just as things were heating up, an American fighter plane flew over and started attacking, giving Heinrich the perfect chance to vanish. Badly hurt, Heinrich made his way to Irmgard's house, where he collapsed. Irmgard, who saw something of his own lost son in Heinrich, decided to help him. While Heinrich rested, the priest came by after burying Paul. Heinrich immediately asked where Elsa was and what the Nazis were really doing there. The priest finally revealed it. They were after stolen Jewish gold, hidden away by the Lowenstein family. Elsewhere, Robert snuck into a basement to meet two old friends. Turns out, the three of them had known about the gold all along. But Robert was planning to snitch to Von Starnfeld, hoping to protect his own child. Just as he was leaving, Sonia knocked him out with a shovel. She then ordered one of the guys to finish him off. Back at Nazi HQ, Elsa was weirdly having dinner with Von Starnfeld. He started talking about how she reminded him of his ex-lover, a Jewish woman he'd once loved but ended up killing himself. The guy even kept her ring inside his missing eyeball. No joke. He pulled the ring out and proposed to Elsa right there. Creepy doesn't even begin to describe it. Meanwhile, the priest and Irmgard talked about the Lowensteins. They were a peaceful Jewish family, good people. But like so many others, they became victims when Hitler's madness spread. Robert and his friends had found the family's hidden gold years ago and buried it in a grave. Now Sonia was ready to take it for herself. But when they opened the casket, there was only a Bible inside. The priest had already moved the gold to the church. Heinrich convinced the priest to hand over the gold to Von Starnfeld in exchange for Elsa's freedom. Around the same time, Elsa tried to escape while Von Starnfeld slept, noticed the ring he gave her had something weird inside. It turned out to be a cyanide capsule. She played it cool, pretended to seduce him, slipped the pill into his mouth, and broke it with a kiss. That was the end of Von Starnfeld. Elsewhere, Sonia's crew ambushed the priest, and Heinrich used a gold brick as bait to lure Dorfler into a trade. Elsa for the gold. Dorfler checked on Elsa and freaked out when he found Von Starnfeld dead and Elsa gone. He quickly took charge and tried to trick Heinrich by bringing in Robert's wife, pretending she was Elsa. The ruse didn't last long. Elsa had already made it to Irmgard's place. She was desperate to help, but had no weapon. Irmgard then revealed her stash of hunting rifles. Meanwhile, the priest was getting beaten by Sonia's people, refusing to talk, and Heinrich was also being tortured. Dorfler even gave him a blood transfusion just to keep him alive long enough to talk. By the next morning, Sonia forced the priest to show her the church where the gold was hidden. He let her in, knowing he had a trap ready. When they found the gold, they triggered a grenade booby trap that killed several of her men. Dorfler and his crew showed up afterward and found the place wrecked. Seeing gold bricks still scattered, Dorfler killed the priest to silence him, then ordered his men to bring in a coffin to haul the gold away. But Elsa was waiting outside, ready for a fight. She used a powerful rifle to blow part of the church wall down, trapping some Nazis inside. With Irmgard backing her up, they launched a counterattack. Irmgard went berserk after finding the priest's dead body and managed to stab Dorfler, nearly killing him. But just as she was about to finish him off, one of the remaining Nazis shot her in the head. Elsa, seeing her friend killed, snapped and started firing wildly. Despite being badly hurt, Heinrich joined the fight. Elsa took down most of the soldiers, but Dorfler wasn't dead yet. He got up, knocked Elsa down, and started choking her. But Heinrich, with one last burst of strength, grabbed a gold bar and smashed Dorfler's skull in. Just to be sure, he shoved the gold brick in Dorfler's mouth. That was the end of him. After the chaos, Heinrich and Elsa started to leave, but one last Nazi soldier, barely alive, tried to claim the gold. Before he could make his move, Sonia, who'd somehow survived, shot him dead and took the gold for herself. She smiled, thinking she'd won, until American tanks rolled into town and fired a shell right at her. She flew through the air in a fiery explosion and was instantly killed. In the final scene, Heinrich asks Elsa to come with him to the city of Hagen. He finally gets to see his daughter again, a moment of peace after all the madness. Thanks for sticking around. If you like the recap, don't forget to hit subscribe. Catch you next time.